This is my friend's childhood PlayStation Vita. He got it in 2013 and had it for only a few months until it fell and the screen broke. Since then, it sat in his closet, waiting to be fixed and used again. Replacement screens for these OLED Vitas are surprisingly cheap these days, from AliExpress at least. The screen I picked up being only 22 bucks Canadian shipped. The price seemed a bit too good to be true, and it kinda was. I'll explain why at the end of the video. I wasn't happy with just replacing the screen though. I also picked up this Type-C charging port replacement because everyone knows where to find one of these cables. But one of these cables...
What the hell is even that?
And assuming all goes well with that, I can then mod it for him, so he can dump and play all the physical Vita games that he definitely owns. Enough talking, let's get this thing taken apart. Getting the back panel off the Vita was pretty straightforward. It's held together with just 8 standard Phillips screws. Now it's just a matter of disconnecting everything. I like how the D-pad and the other button pad board is separate from the Vita motherboard itself, and how all 3 boards are just held in with a few screws and clips. Disconnecting the broken screen, the motherboard is now free. Since the replacement Vita screen came with, well, just the screen itself and not the frame, I had to essentially prepare the old frame for surgery, aka having its face ripped off through the use of extreme heat. Using a heat gun, I was able to get the old glass and damaged screen separated from the plastic frame. I got a little careless and melted the old screen a bit in the process, but thankfully the plastic frame underneath was fine, which is what mattered. This poor screen's been through so much. After getting the screen removed, I cleaned up the leftover adhesive using some isopropyl. Now the frame is clean and ready for the new screen. When attaching the new screen, I fed its screen cable through this top cutout, which was incorrect. I should have fed it through the bottom one. This made reassembly much harder, as I had way less screen cable to work with when reattaching it to the motherboard. Now it's the hard part. Removing the old charging port was the hardest part of this whole project. The port is held in with 4 anchor points secured with what I'm pretty sure is unleaded solder, which has a much higher melting point compared to the 60% tin, 40% lead solder that I'm using. Adding the leaded solder to the anchors and pins definitely helped, and with lots of heat, flux, and patience, I got it removed. The old charging port got destroyed in the process, but in my eyes it deserved it for being proprietary. Once I got it removed, I saw this hanging strand of copper. I thought I ripped a pad or something, but turns out it was just part of the melted charging port.